The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hello, and welcome back to your favorite podcast,
De-influenced.
Today's one of those days, babe.
It's a hard day. You know what I have in my bones right now?
Anger.
Resentment.
Oh, no, not resentment.
It's festered. It's festered from anger to resentment.
What happened? You want to tell us?
Can I?
No, don't.
Can I? I want to try and explain it in the most vague way possible. I don't think we can move to the suburbs. The suburbs genuinely do not want Dani and Jordan to live in them. That's all I'll say.
I have to say, I was really excited ever since I took my break. I was like really excited for a slower pace of life. And so we were like, we're like, let's get the yard. Let's move out to suburbs. We went and looked at a suburban area outside of Dallas. It is exactly an hour outside of Dallas. So where we live right now, we live 15 minutes from downtown. Like if we wanted to go to the American Airlines Center, Uber is going to take us 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So we live like in a neighborhood in Dallas. So this was like the true suburbs. And we were so excited. We got out there. We filmed a little bit of the day. We like probably looked at like 5 or 6 houses.
The air felt different.
It was
felt
fresh.
Peace,
right?
Calm, serenity. And little did I know that is the opposite of what exists in these people out there.
Listen, we had an interesting experience with one person out there, with one entity out there. It wasn't like the whole suburban area.
But this one entity turned the whole suburb against us.
Okay, when you say the whole suburb, maybe it was like 5 or 6 other people.
But
like
babe, there's only 5 or 6 people out there.
No, you're being I think that the population, how many was it? Like 30,000?
30,000.
I think you're being a little dramatic.
Babe, I can never go there ever again and show myself at Cheesecake Factory. I could never do it.
We're laughing because we were like, where's the live music? We're like, where's the live music out here? And we were walking around and there was like a one-man saxist playing in front of the Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, no, listen, I was all in. I'm not going to say who wronged us, but this is one day maybe we can tell this story, but it's a saga filled with cheese crackers, Swedish fish, attorneys, realtors, square feet.
What square feet?
Like the square feet of the house. Like I'm just trying to tell. I wish so much in my bones.
I know
that I could tell this story because honestly, Dani, I'm gonna be honest. And maybe when I go on my healing journey next week, maybe I come back and I apologize for what I'm about to say. But like, they bullied us out of the suburbs.
Yeah.
They came out with their pitchforks and they stabbed us.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran us out of town. And you know what? Fine. I'm not going to your suburb ever again.
Honestly, I might be out there. Like once the dust settles, it's like everybody just needs to calm down.
Babe, they would eat you alive out there.
Yeah, but you know what? You could eat alive anywhere. You know what I mean?
I know, but listen.
I just ordered this coffee
and it next level.
It tastes like there's medicine in there. Taste that.
I don't want to. I don't want to drink coffee isn't that from Juiceland?
Yeah.
That's weird.
No,
it's been weird ever since you've gotten it. I'm not gonna lie. Every time you get that piece of plastic, I'm like, why are you drinking coffee? You say it's coffee, but your tongue's orange, and I don't get it. So
okay, he's just angry today. No, let me actually tell you, Juiceland has an amazing turmeric oat milk latte. That's why it's neon yellow. They put turmeric in it. No, it's delicious typically, but this one actually tastes like it has like an antibiotic in it. Like I'm maybe poisoned right now. It's probably from that Suburban mom.
Yeah, she probably laced it.
Yeah. Susan.
She went to the Juiceland and she laced it.
Anyway,
she probably wants to kill us, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, Jordan.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Was not nice.
Well, anyway, what have we been up to outside of looking at houses in the suburbs? We're going to continue a little house update. We've been looking.
You know what would really help me right now? Let's both take a deep breath. What are 3 things you're grateful for? I need this exercise. What are 3 things you're grateful for?
I am grateful for let's see.
It's tough when you're angry. This is why we need to do this.
Okay, wait, hold on, let me think. I am grateful for our chiropractor, for Stratton. I mean, for Summit. Oh my gosh, I can't stop. I
Yeah, it's
can't
gonna be
stop. Our chiropractor, because I think he has a little tension in his neck. That's why he's been rolling over. Y'all, Summit has been rolling over nonstop, and he's 3 weeks old, and it's because, or almost 4 weeks old. On Sunday he'll be 4 weeks old, and I think it's because he has tension in the neck. So our chiropractor is amazing. I'm thankful for Cynthia. She gave me a 90-minute massage at Massage Envy the other night. I mean, talk about suburbs. Like, nothing makes you feel more suburban than going to a Massage Envy. And let me tell you, they're pretty good over there. I was like, wait, sponsorship?
Yeah, but we'll never have it.
We have a Massage Envy up the road, okay? You're being such a drama king. And then I am thankful for, our podcast producer made me more sourdough bread, which I've eaten so much sourdough bread every day. I feel like I've turned into a piece of sourdough. So she's made me, like, now it's her third loaf. After the second loaf, loaf, that's a funny word.
It is a funny word.
After the second loaf, I went to the store and I was like, I'm going to buy some sourdough, but I bought the one that comes like in like a plastic, it's like, it's processed. It just wasn't the same.
It's not the same.
But I tried. I bought some butter. I'd
and
butter that stuff up. Yeah. And I was like, man, all I really want is some sourdough. But here's the thing about sourdough. You can't ask someone to make you sourdough. It's like a thing. Like, it takes a long time. Like, how many hours does it take?
To like get it all together is like 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours. And it has to sit overnight. So it's really like almost a 24-hour thing, right? Like, especially once you drive it over to someone's house. So I'm like, you can't ask someone, hey, can you make me more sourdough bread? Like, it's not like, can you throw some cookies in the oven? You know what I mean? So you just have to wait. You have to wait around for someone to bring you sourdough bread.
Do you think there was ever like a real Mrs. Baird?
The bread lady?
The bread lady?
I don't know.
Because she was just, think about how much bread she made. She was just sitting and waiting for hours. And she had to go knead this bread. And she had to deliver.
That's someone I don't know anything about.
We should cover the history of Mrs. Baird's bread.
Let's bring on one of the Baird family members.
What if they still are out here just making bread?
Jordan.
In their backyard.
You're not well.
Just kneading it.
You're not well.
Isn't that what you call it? Knead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, that's what I'm thankful for. What are you grateful for?
I'm thankful for the laugh I just had. That was pretty funny. I'm also grateful for, we had I would say breakthrough conversation.
Oh, you want to tell people about it?
Well, I figure we will. But,
okay.
Well, right?
Oh, yeah. It was like kind of deep. Like, I thought this was something kind of intimate, but no, like, why not? People know everything about us. As well.
I would say our breakthrough conversation, like when you're fighting and you're just like not getting anywhere, and then you just have that
100%. Where I'm just like, I just want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like I'm so angry at you. Like it's unreal how much I
feel that.
I hate you in the moment. Like sometimes
I feel that.
I'm like looking at you and I'm like, how did I end up with this man?
And I'm like, I think she wants to kill me. I think I should leave.
No, I sometimes like kind of do a little bit,
No, I know.
But I wouldn't. That's not me.
Have you seen, you remember that like scene from I think it's like that movie This Is Us or something. And it's like, she's like, sometimes I just want to like murder you. And he's like, how would you do it? And she's like, I'd put you in a wood chipper. And he's like, that's gross. Oh man.
Yeah, no. It's okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because this in our communication pep talk that we will give you, we will talk about how one of my demands was, I need you to see the best in me because I know in your eyes that you don't.
But then you don't see the best in me sometimes.
True. We'll talk about it in a second. I'm on my gratitude, so like let's not go here. I'm trying to be grateful. The third thing I'm grateful for is this is kind of funny, but I went to the lunch today on your behalf. On our behalf, I guess.
I have no idea what you're talking
EY
about.
Entrepreneur of the Year.
That's what you didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, I went. It's okay.
Why
It was all
didn't I get
dudes.
to go?
You know, I
You
just-
didn't invite me.
I just honestly didn't think you'd want to go. It seemed like one of those things.
It's
I'm
not my,
like, I'm
it's
not
not my
even gonna
era
ask.
right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, you could have come. They would have loved to have you.
Here's the
but-
thing. I would appreciate the invite.
Okay, good to know. I am gonna do that. And so anyway, I thought it was a really fun time. We talked about a lot of
Good.
cool things, and we know a lot of the same people.
Cool.
Yeah, their kids are all in.
Are we gonna
Dallas
win?
schools, huh?
Are we gonna win it?
You know, I think it's more about the process.
I
Than
mean,
it's about
because you
the
know,
winning.
like it's my identity on the line.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah. No, I
I'm
alluded. I was
kidding.
like, hey guys, listen, we're not gonna sign up if we can't win here.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the nomination, but like,
we were. If you missed last podcast, we were nominated for EY Entrepreneur of the Year.
yeah, and different this time. We
Were nominated,
which is fun.
Yes.
They want to do the husband-wife duo. So yeah, I'm grateful for that. You know, yeah,
Was that 3?
that was 3.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember all 3 of them, but I definitely said 3.
I think was it 3?
That was 3.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Even if you said 2, it's like, baby steps.
I'm trying.
You're trying. You're trying.
This is a new exercise for me. I usually like to just sit in my resentment and my anger.
Yeah, no, same.
Stew.
It's just I like to stew it up.
I'm like, I don't want to be happy. I want to be mad.
Yeah, same. It feels so good sometimes.
It does. Cause like, you know why it feels good?
Tell me.
Cause you're the victim.
Oh, I love being the victim.
I know.
I'm like,
It feels good.
Karen,
Yeah.
you victimized me.
Yeah.
Like I'm the one that's getting hurt here.
Yeah.
Karen.
I've been going
And
to
the
therapy.
topic this week was resentment. Okay.
And this other guy who was not in a group, but was next to me talking about it. It was so interesting hearing how other men deal with resentment. And it's so funny how it festers in all of us so differently.
How do
because-
some people deal with anger? Because resentment is essentially like another form of anger.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just kind of bottle it up and then tell no one. But these other guys were like, man, and this mother effer stiffed me. And he was like, I wanted to murder him. And he's like, but I can't. And like, that's what I've learned. It's like, I got to forgive that person who stiffed me. And I was like, whoa.
He's
That's
like, I want to
crazy.
take a baseball bat to the car
Yeah, no.
and slash the tires.
Yeah. And man, that anger, you got to get it out because
I know sometimes like, I never was that kid that like punched the other kid.
yeah.
But like, I wish I would have been at one point because I bet it
Huh.
would have felt real good in that moment.
Is this you or is this just your hormones settling from postpartum? Because it could just be like when you look at me with that, that hatred that we talked about a second ago, I'm like, she didn't mean it. It's just her hormones.
Anyway, we have been doing, what I think would be really helpful is we have been doing a lot of marriage counseling.
Mhm.
Not because we have had marital issues, but because I think we're both changing. Like, they say people change like every 7 to 10 years.
Oh yeah, we are both evolving.
Like we're both evolving and
Yeah.
we're not the same people we were. And so like the things that used to work just don't work anymore on each
Mhm.
one of us. And like Jordan's literally not the same person I married in a good way. And I'm probably not the same person you married.
No.
Or maybe I am, and that's the problem. But anyway.
I'm like, did we get that on tape? I'm kidding.
No, but it takes me a little bit slower. I'm a little bit more like on my own pace. Anyway, and so yeah, like I think that we were like, okay, we need to kind of learn how to deal with this newer, better, improved version of ourselves. So we started going to marriage counseling again. And the biggest thing that we learned that we're really extremely bad at was communicating through conflict.
Mhm.
Like communicating our feelings, communicating when one person their needs were not being met. Like it started so many fights where we were just going back and forth, just trying to make the other person understand our perspective and our feelings, but not like listening to the other person and understanding where they were coming from. And so it's been crazy because like now, I don't even know if you know this, but like even when we fight now, like our fights are so like inspired by therapy now. Like we fight and then we'll be like, okay, so to recap what you're saying is you feel da 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 da. You know, like we actually talk in a different way now.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
I-
I thought we could go over like some of the actual strategies, like tangible things that we've been doing in our communication when we've been dealing through like working through conflict. Because it's like little tips and tricks that make a huge difference.
Yeah. Do you think that my communication towards you has changed that much?
Oh, 1,000,000%. But like honestly, like I'm 10 steps ahead of you for sure.
Whoa. Really?
In the communication, health of our communication.
Listen, I don't want to like just break up these 10 rules we're about to share right before we share them. But like, see, it's so funny because I wasn't sure if my communication changed or just the way that you received it changed.
You've gotten better, but you still have a little bit of work to do. And I definitely have been working on the way I receive it for sure.
Okay. So both could be right.
Yeah, you've definitely gone from like a 1 to a 5.
Interesting.
I'm like an 8.
Before we get into all of our strategy and tips and tricks, what's the biggest trigger in my current 5 state of communication for you?
Well, let me tell you what you used to do that like really was hard for me was like I would be like, Jordan, I feel like you don't give me like you have no empathy for like how much I'm staying up breastfeeding every night. Like I have no, I'm so exhausted. Like my body hurts so much. I feel like you do not feel empathy for like what I'm going through. And you're treating me like any other day when I'm like postpartum. And you would be like, Dani, your feelings don't make sense. You literally would say,
I never said that.
oh my gosh, I literally like, it's all I journal about.
No, let me.
Jordan, you would be like, your feelings, Dani, you would be like, Dani, I did this, this, and this. So like, I get that you feel that way, but your feelings don't make sense. Like your feelings are wrong.
I think that, can I just practice how I think I would have said it? I think what I would have probably said is, hey, Dani, like I totally understand your feelings. Hold on.
Okay.
I totally understand your feelings, but like, you know, there's a difference probably between like factually what's happening and then like how you feel about them.
I put quotes. I put quotes when you say something and I write it down verbatim. Like I actually do because I know that it will get to this point where you deny what you said. No, I quote you.
Let me see these quotes.
No.
I'll read the ones I'm comfortable sharing on to the interwebs. No, you can't blast me like this. Let me read my own quotes.
No, these are like serious. They're like, it's too much. I quote you all the time. It's like one of my favorite things to do. Like
you're kind of like obsessed with me.
I know. But yeah, so anyway, but that was really hard for me because your feelings don't have to make sense. They're feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go through. I actually have a really interesting one.
Okay.
That is going to maybe blow your mind.
Is this a strategy or a example of?
So I actually wrote down 6 tips for communicating through conflict with your loved ones.
Okay.
So this one is super interesting and I don't think you'll know this one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like shout out to our therapist because he taught me a lot of these. He's going to be like, this is my content. Okay. So when you're communicating with someone, what percentage? So you have the 3 V's. You have verbal, vocal, and visual communication. So verbal would be like the words that you're saying. Vocal would be like your tone, you know, like, how are you saying it? Your tone, you know, that's a tone. And then visual would be your body language. Like, how are you, what are you doing with your arms, your hands, your eyes, your whatever. So what percentage when you're communicating with words, tone, and body language, how much merit do you put on each? Like what, so like if it's 100%, how much does words mean? How much does tone mean? And how much does body language mean in the total of communication?
Am I supposed to guess?
Yeah.
I would say it's not equal split.
That would be 33%.
Yeah, 33.33 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's equal. So I think words are probably 60%.
Okay.
I would say tone is another 30%.
Okay.
And then I would say body language.
Body language.
Body language is the last 10%.
Okay. Let me tell you what it really is. Words are 7%. They're basically nothing.
Oh,
Your tone is 38%. Your body language is 55%.
ooh, yeah. Your therapist does not like my body language. She called that out.
Yeah, because when you're talking to me, this is Jordan in our therapy sessions. You're not facing toward me.
Okay. Can I ask you something though?
Look at your body language right now.
Mhm.
You know what your body language tells me right now?
Well, you just reamed me with my quotes.
Well, let me tell you. No, it says you're relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
you're confident, you're a little shut off from me. You
Mhm.
feel a little defensive.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, hug.
No, what were you gonna say?
Have you ever like, like when you leave a voicemail or like a voice note to someone and then you like listen to it back and you're like, that's my voice?
Every time we post anything on the
Yeah,
internet.
it's so a lot of the times it's so interesting. Would you call it 58% is tone?
38% is
38%. 38% tone is so interesting because when I was growing up, everyone would always say I was so monotone. Even when I read ads, y'all are like, the way that you hear me saying it and the way I think I'm expressing it in my head or what I hear in my head is so different. So, isn't tone subjective?
tone.
It's a genuine question.
No, I think tone, I mean, it's literally like if you were yelling at someone,
Okay.
that's yelling. If
Right.
you're whispering, then you're trying to be quiet. If
Right.
you're sarcastic, maybe you get a lower voice. If you're laughing, that's tone.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. So we're not talking about like octaves. We're talking.
no, Jordan, we're not
Well, I
talking about
know,
octave.
but like sometimes I feel like it comes off more cold, even when I'm trying to be super careful with my words with you. It's like I think sometimes when I shut down in our communication, I'm like, okay, I am.
You know what you do a lot?
No, but tell me. You're gonna tell me.
You say Danny in the middle of your sentences a lot. It's extremely condescending, in my opinion. And you'll be like, okay, or you'll be like, listen, Danny. And you're like, Danny.
It's so funny because oh man, I wish that there was like I wish we had more male listeners because what I know is going to happen when people listen to this podcast, and I can tell by our producer's head shakes, who's a female, just being like, yes, queen, is like, they're going to be like, go off, Danny. Yes. I feel this with my husband all the time. And I wonder if the husbands listened, if they'd be like, oh my gosh.
No, like,
I
because
totally
here's
get
the
it.
thing, like, just don't be a jerk. Like, honestly, just be nicer.
Right.
Like,
This
just
is-
have some empathy. Like,
This is
females
where-
are hormonal. Like, we are sensitive. We are going through a lot. Like, we are postpartum. We are, breastfeeding children. Like, I am sensitive. So be sensitive.
But here's my question is like, again, I'm just trying to present a counterpoint. I don't know a single husband of all the husbands that I know that's like woke up and is like, you know what? I'm gonna be a jerk today. I'm gonna be a jerk to my wife. That's what, you know what? I think it's gonna pay me dividends if I'm a jerk. Like we all know if we're jerks, we're in the doghouse. Like it's, you know how cold it is out there? Like no one wants to be a jerk. And so like where I get so confused with these conversations is like I'm like, you hear me being a jerk. And in my heart of hearts, I'm like, be sensitive. You know?
Yeah, maybe it's just.
That's why I asked about the octaves. Because I thought maybe we were just off in terms of like you think I'm sounding like this
No,
and like
babe,
so
that's
cold
not
and
that-
stuff.
no,
and like I
that's
really
not-
should be like, Danny, I love you, girl. You know, like, it's just like maybe if I like play with the octaves, like we can get on the same page of hearing each other.
Babe, it's not the octave. It's like,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
No, okay. Listen, I'm being hard on you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. What I'm doing is I'm over here just really trying to own my side of the street.
Okay.
And so you just let me know how I can do that better. I'm not fighting you back. I'm here to own my side of the street.
So you're saying that you're listening to learn, listening to understand, not listening to defend?
No, this one you got me dead right on.
No, I'm kidding.
Is
because
that tip number 2?
that's tip number 2.
So just explain it.
So tip number 2 is listen to understand, not to reply.
Mhm.
So many times, and I would say this was probably what we did the most. This is what we did wrong the most in our communication,
Mhm.
was we both would just get on the defense and try to prove and try to win the argument.
Mhm.
So let's just say the argument is about, I asked you to put the dishes away after dinner and you didn't put the dishes away.
Did it 15 minutes later. That also ends up in fights. It's like when you say, will you do the dishes after dinner? What you really mean is like, do it now.
No, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You do. It's
Okay.
Okay.
So, that it's like, that makes me feel like you don't care, that you don't care about me when you don't do the dishes, let's just say, for example. And then,
Or bring you coffee in the morning.
yeah. And then, for example, Jordan would say,
you told me you felt forgotten last Saturday morning. I also the thing about our morning routine, or my morning routine, is like, and I'm totally cool with this. Like, I'll wake up at around 6:30 because Stella is like getting Cheerios or something crazy outside. So I'm like, okay, I have to wake up by 6:30 because if I'm not up by 6:30, I can't shower first. And if I don't shower first, then I'm kind of like moody and grumpy and groggy. And so like my shower is my reset, and it's like my signal that I'm like, okay, day started. And then I go and make Danny coffee, and then I get Stratton up. So there's 3 things I have to do in the morning. Okay. And what I've learned is that if last Saturday morning, I got up, I showered first because Stratton was still asleep. And then I got Stratton, and then I made Danny coffee. And when I walked in there, she had her boob pumps on, and it was like this like low light shadow on her face from her cell phone. It's dark, the fan's going, and it's silent. And I just say, hey babe. And she says, I feel forgotten. And it's because I effed up owning my side of the street. I effed up the series of events. Like, I should have pre-made the coffee, gotten out of bed, rolled out of bed, gotten the coffee, brought it there, innocent until proven guilty after that, showered, then gotten Stratton. And it's like every morning I can't get this series of events
I just
right.
tell you what's happening though throughout the entire night is every 2 hours I'm waking up to pump and I look at you. I look to my left.
Yes.
And you're over there just snoring away. Snoring away, okay? And I'm just struggling. I'm covered in night sweats, breast milk's flying everywhere. Every 2 hours I'm getting up. I have to wash, we get all the parts. I have to get the new parts. And then it happens all over every 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
All I really am looking forward to in the morning is that cup of coffee. And I think, you know what? The one thing he'll do for me will be that cup of coffee. I'm feeding his child. I'm making, food for his child that I birthed, that came out of my vajayjay naturally,
For sure.
So I was like, just that one cup of coffee will really just do it all for me.
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel that. I've been waking up with like horrible morning anxiety. Like I just did something wrong. Like truly like the past 4 days.
Because you just
and I like it's like so crazy. I wake up with this morning anxiety and I immediately like open my eyes. I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And I've been trying to figure out like,
because I'm just staring at you all night.
No, for real. Like I've been trying to figure out like where that energy is coming from. And I just think I identified it's coming from your soul into my soul. You're just staring at me with hatred while you pump all night.
It's not hatred.
No, it's not hatred. It's just deep. It's low grade resentment.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So anyway, my point was, what was my example that I had with the I was talking about listening to understand, not to reply.
Yeah.
Okay, the dishes. Okay, so the dishes. Let's just say that Jordan didn't do the dishes, and I say, it makes me feel like you don't care about me when you don't do the dishes. And then maybe in the past, Jordan would say, Danny, that makes no sense. I picked the kids up from school. I ironed your shirt. I'm making these up. He's never ironed a shirt in his life. Sorry.
I'm getting so roasted. Oh my gosh. And it's so funny because I'm getting so roasted and everyone's still going to be like, go off, queen. You're the queen. You birth her naturally. It's more important than ever to make sure our kids are getting the vitamins they need to stay healthy. One of my favorite kids brands is Haya, the pediatrician approved super powered chewable vitamin. The founders are dads who were shocked to learn what ingredients were in most children's vitamins. They spent 3 years curating top pediatricians, nutritionists, scientists, and parents to formulate a superpowered chewable made with 15 essential vitamins and minerals, while also including a blend of 12 fruits and veggies. The result is Haya, a daily children's vitamin that's supercharged to fill in the gaps and always with zero added sugar and zero gummy junk, so you can be confident your kids are getting the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. My fellow parents know getting your kids to eat their greens can be the biggest struggle. This is why I love Haya's Kids Daily Green Plus Superfoods, a chocolate-flavored greens powder designed specifically for kids, packed with 55 plus whole food ingredients to support brain power, development, and digestion. Just scoop, shake, and sip with milk or any non-dairy beverage for a delicious and nutritious boost your kids will actually enjoy. I'm also a sucker for good packaging, and Haya's branding is super cute and fun for the kiddos. You get these cool bottles plus stickers with your first order, and then they send you eco-friendly refills every month. We've worked out a special deal with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/DannyAustin. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/DannyAustin. and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
Speaking of postpartum and getting my health back to normal after having Summit, I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite women's health products, O Positive supplements. O Positive is on a mission to deliver innovative, clinically backed, fun to take products that support women throughout every stage of their life. Whether you've just had your first cycle or first baby, O Positive is here to help you keep your hormones balanced. O Positive's URO Vaginal Probiotics is one of the top 5 supplements on Amazon, and they have multiple #1 products in Target for intimate care, PMS, menopause, and menopause categories. The URO probiotic supplement has clinically studied probiotic strains and prebiotic fibers that target issues like off pH level and more. With so many factors in our everyday life, like tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, and more disrupting our vaginal health and causing imbalances and discomfort, O Positive makes taking care of your womanhood easier. It's truly become a staple in my routine, and I love that it's science-backed, and it's so important for women to prioritize their health around every turn, and this is a great way to do it. Plus, O Positive has something for every woman, no matter what stage of life she's in. They are here to support you. Take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/Danny or enter Danny at checkout for 25% off your first purchase. That's opositiv.com/Danny for 25% off. It's a new year, which means new health goals. Well, something I've been seeing over and over again is how having a healthy gut is imperative for your health goals. That's where Just Thrive probiotics come in. Did you know most probiotics die in your harsh stomach acid before they can do much good? Just Thrive probiotic is the only probiotic clinically proven to arrive in your gut 100% alive. For you, that means better digestion, healthy immunity, great energy, and easy weight management. This means a metabolism that works for you, not against you, and digestive comfort you can feel. It comes in a capsule or berry-flavored gummy, so there's an option for everyone in the family. Plus, Just Thrive probiotics are backed by an industry-leading guarantee. Love the way you feel or get a full product refund, no questions asked. Visit justthrivehealth.com and use code Danny for 20% off your first 90-day bottle. That's like getting a month for free. That's justthrive.com, promo code Danny. Here's to your best health with Just Thrive. Then you would be like, Danny, that makes no sense. I did all these other things.
Yes.
But it's like, it doesn't matter because if I feel that way, you can't take away the way I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Can I just ask this question? I mean, what if I felt, I'm just going to make something up. What if I felt like, because, oh man, I'm just trying to think. Like, what if I feel something that's totally illogical? Because I feel like when I feel something that's totally illogical, I get put on trial.
What? Okay, give an example.
I can't give an example but what I'm saying is, like, I feel like feelings are fact when it's a one-way street. But if my feelings are not factual, then I don't know if they're heard, right?
So what are you feeling?
I don't know. That's a larger issue. I don't know how I feel. Let's move on. Okay. We'll get into double standards probably in some.
Okay. Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's very helpful when you're having a conversation to set goals for the conversation. before you get started.
We did this well yesterday.
The
Yeah.
goal for a conversation is to get on the same page, figure out how to move forward in a healthier way, and, discern, or, we'll write down 3 things that we'll each do differently, but having goals will also keep you like staying focused on the conversation and not, what do we call it? Kitchen sinking everything, which is very easy whenever you are angry with someone to just say, okay, you're upset I didn't do the dishes. Well, let me lay out 10 other things that, I'm upset about to like, or 10 other things that I did right that day to prove that you're wrong. That's what we call kitchen sinking. And that never goes well because then you just talk for hours and you just leave even angrier. So just staying focused on the conversation and setting a goal, that has helped us a lot.
Did we really unpack the listening to understand, not to defend?
I don't know. Do you want to go back to that one?
I mean, I think it's one of the more helpful ones because I feel like I'm always listening to defend or reply. I think I'm most guilty of that. And one thing I've learned from this for all the, our 2 male listeners is, I never understood how much time these conversations really take if you want to do them right. Like we process on totally different time frames.
I would say they're shorter now if we do it right.
No, because we don't loop back around. But the one trick of the trade I feel like I learned was when you're listening to understand and not listening to respond, I give you a long time to respond. Like I would used to be like, if there was gap and you were just kind of like processing and thinking, those moments in our conversations where I'll be like, here's how I feel about something. And you just are silent. I used to be like, okay, well, and then I would try and work it out for you. I'd be like, okay, well, so are you feeling this? Because I would want to kind of like move the conversation along, and I really underestimated how long that silence can go on. I, don't record our conversations, but I do time them. And I think the longest silence we have had is about 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
I believe it. From me?
From you. Yeah, because you just take a longer time to process. But
because that I'm thinking all the things I want to say that I shouldn't.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, you're clearly processing something, but I used to not listen to understand. So I'd fill the gaps. And then what I did is I probably overwhelmed you more because I gave you like, are you thinking this? Or are you feeling this? Are you feeling this? Are you feeling this? Because I was just like trying to move it along. And so I just thought that was a really good trick of the trade. Might be particular to our relationship.
Just sit and
no,
wait.
Truly embrace the silence. I mean, do you honestly feel like that's helpful?
I never thought about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a good thing that I feel like I've done.
Okay. So maybe like bite your tongue. Just listen.
I would say maybe understand that brains move at different speeds, and that's okay. Like, no, I'm not saying yours moves slower at a different rate.
It's okay.
You are a way slower processor than I am. And like
100%.
That's totally okay. And I think that you used to say in therapy, I think the words were, she just talks so much, remember?
She does?
No, you said that about me. You were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He just talks so much.
I would say that you would go off on rants.
Rants, right.
Yeah.
And so,
do you agree with that?
Well,
you don't see, I'm getting curious here.
Yeah, I think I agree with it now because I've really understood just that silence, Like I think a lot of my rants were like me trying to fill the gap of the silence, which was necessary for you to process.
Was this is probably number 4.
Mm-hmm.
There is a difference between sharing your feelings and sharing your thoughts. A lot of times we get together and we're like, let's have a conversation where we can share our feelings and try to understand each other's feelings.
Yeah.
But really, you just get together, you recap the conflict, you recap the stories, you share your thoughts, not your feelings. Feelings are actually, I wrote some feelings down, and it's pain, loneliness, fear, anger, guilt, shame, joy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can, like, a lot of times you're just recapping the story to get your point across, but you don't actually share, like, hey, ultimately, when you didn't do the dishes, it actually just made me feel lonely. What? Why would it make you feel lonely? Because it makes me feel like you don't care about me, and I feel very lonely, and I want to feel like I have my partner, and I'm making this all up.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, kind of like getting to the root of what you're feeling in it, I think can help create some more empathy between each party instead of just like going back and forth over the facts. Because you and I just we typically just go at the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like both like little attorneys trying to like prove our point, And like you really could be an attorney. So it's not easy to argue with you.
Thank you for that. That's so sweet of you. Yeah. No, I mean, and it's not about the facts.
What's it about?
The feelings.
There you go, man. So good.
I mean, I am a purple belt. Not black, not blue, purple. With 1 star.
Okay, moving on. Number 5. I put feelings are always valid regardless of what is said or done. And then number 6, try using I statements instead of you.
Rookie. Yeah. That's easy. That's like
What's
101.
What's an example of this?
Like you're mean versus like I feel like you are being mean.
I think those are kind of the same thing.
No, because one's like I feel in my feelings.
But I think it would be like you're mean is one of them. And then another would, like, instead of saying you're mean, you would say I feel hurt, or I feel sad, or I feel angry when you don't do the dishes or something.
I feel lonely when you are being mean.
We're still gonna work on this one.
No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with it. I'm just roasting myself. I'm joking, guys. I understand the I versus you. I'm not an idiot. Jeez, I'm a purple belt.
A purple belt. I did. Okay. So yeah, those are like some little things you've been learning in therapy. Anything else you've been learning in individual therapy?
Live, laugh, love.
I can't.
Just live, laugh, love. Why are you so serious? Just live, laugh, love. Oh gosh. I mean, I honestly, listen, I can't answer that unless you want to open up a giant can of worms.
Okay, we won't.
Okay, because like, listen, I'm going deep into the woods of Tennessee next week.
Tell them about what you're doing.
I'm going deep into the woods of Tennessee to, I'm going after my black belt. I'm going to heal. I'm going to own my side of the street.
So he's doing this like I'm not going to say which one it is.
Yeah.
Because they have them all over the country. They have some in California. I mean, some in Texas. They're everywhere. And he's going for a week to it's like a healing retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Is it healing or like it's like a therapy retreat essentially? I want to do it too.
Yeah, it's a lot of childhood trauma. No.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were kidding.
I'm not saying I'm going for childhood trauma. I'm saying like that's what it's.
Oh, okay.
It can help with that.
Yeah, it can help with anything.
Yes.
We've had a friend that went for never mind, I won't say.
Yeah. I'm going for probably codependency.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my sickness. Like you are my sickness.
Oh God.
Codependency is like an example of this would be like I want Danny to be happy, and if Danny is not happy, it's really hard for me not to be happy.
Mm.
You know, and so the shadow, which sounds like a really good thing, trust me, it's wrapped in all great intentions. You know, we have a support group, me and the Instagram husbands, and we're all codependent. And all we sit about, what we used to sit around and talk about is like, I don't freaking understand. Like, we love our wives. Like, we're good dudes. Like, we're trying to like help them and like fix all these things in their lives. And like the shadow side of codependency is that like I kind of wrap you in bubble wrap. And then like I take away your power to solve your own problems.
It's good.
And then we hit a, what was last episode? How'd you define it? Rock bottom. So I'm going deep into the woods of Tennessee to own my part in this rock bottom episode.
In this bubble wrap you've been.
I'm actually kind of scared because it's, I've heard it's like pretty intense.
I had
deep therapy.
My friend's husband did it, and he does it like a couple times. Like he's done multiple, and people love it.
Really?
You know, you're gonna be out there. You're gonna be like out there. You're gonna be out there with Aaron Rodgers, just beating that drum. You know,
I'm not going to do ayahuasca.
Yeah, but you know, it's like similar vibes. Like, you know, you're singing Kumbaya, and you're all just beating that drum, and you're like have braids and body paint. It's gonna be
like that? I don't think it's gonna be like that.
It'd be like that. No,
Really?
it's not.
No.
I bet you're gonna make some great friends. I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
I want to go heal somewhere.
But they take my phone, and I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I'll throw this thing into a pond. Like, you take it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That's so weird. I just realized I won't be able to talk to you.
I know.
Are you scared about that? Oh my God, we're gonna love each other so much. Like, you know, like distance makes the heart go fonder.
1000%.
Like, I just want to miss you.
I know.
I just want to we just need a chunk of time like away where I just like miss you.
You're like, it's like so like dawning on you that you're not gonna be able to talk to me, and then literally I've just been like, she's not gonna be able to talk to me. Like, I've thought about it for like.
Oh, it's just
2
now
weeks.
coming to me.
Yeah, it's just now coming to you.
Yeah, what does it make you feel that you can't talk to me for a week? That means you can't check in. Isn't that weird? Like, what if there's an emergency?
No, babe, I went to the Divvy office, you know.
Yeah.
I went to the Divvy office.
For like an hour.
For like an hour. And she calls me and she's like, the tires popped. What do I do? And I'm like, you know, part of my like codependencies, I'm like, you like I can't be like, you're smart, figure it out. Like I'm like, okay, well, like, don't worry, babe. Like, I'll dial the number. I'll three-way in. And then like you just like, you're like, okay, thank you. And then you're like talking to the agent. I'm like, okay, like I gotta go and you know, hang up. And so yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I know that you're gonna survive.
I'm just telling you, it's because I asked you to just send me the number. Also, like anything car related, I feel like your husband should help you with.
Totally. Listen.
My dad always helped me with my car.
Hey, listen.
I took care of that one time when they called the fire department on our house by accident and we didn't have a fire. And then I remembered the passcode and you didn't remember the passcode.
Danny, listen to me. If you figure out the formula of codependency of when is healthy for me to be supportive, i.e. fix your tire, versus when is unhealthy, i.e. what's something unhealthy I've done that's made you feel controlled?
Well, I know what the formula is. I can teach you and I'll probably save you a lot of money. You don't have to go to Tennessee anymore.
Danny, Austin, I need to go to Tennessee.
No, it's fine.
It's
but
so important.
Can I just
that
tell
I get
you?
away.
No, I'm just telling you. Can I just tell you though something?
Yes.
Okay. I think the difference is when I call and ask for help.
I don't buy it. I'm sorry. Like, okay, for example, you're thinking about making a change in your business. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like, you know, the new person. You asked me to text all these people and we're like, can you go back channel this other person for me? And I was like,
what's back channel mean?
Like, ask for references. Like, what do y'all like working with this person? You know, and stuff like that. And you asked me to do that. And I was like, my codependency spidey senses went up.
It's like our business though. We're doing it together.
Right. But like, I knew the reason I didn't do it is because I knew that if I would have done that task for you, you would have not felt bought in and felt ownership yourself over that decision. Does that make sense?
No, I think I would have appreciated it.
This is why I'm going to Tennessee. I don't understand the formula. The formula's effed, guys. Like, I mean, I sit here and I try and I think about the formula. It's like I'm trying to find a new element.
It's kind of
in
like the
periodic
same
table.
thing that a lot of moms and daughters go through. You know, whenever it's like, Mom, like it's like, I don't want you around because all you do is just like try to give me advice and like tell me what to do and how to live my life. And it's like, Mom, like I'll call and ask, like if I call and ask for help, then that's when I want help. Otherwise, I'm, 32 years old. I really am just now looking for like someone, like another kind of friend. Like I'm not like, I'll call you and ask for help when we need it, but I don't need you to come like parent me all the time.
Right. Right.
It's kind of like that. It's like, yeah, like when we call and ask for help. And if you want to set your boundaries and say, no, Dani, I'm not going to do this, then that's a different story. But like, I think the codependency is doing stuff for people when they're not asking for it.
Right. Probably.
So, I mean, I just want to like put
the
that
subtle shadow side of codependency is it is this kind of really mind F way version of manipulation and control.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because, like I think part of your rock bottom, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or take this out, but part of your rock bottom was you had a team around you whose job is to reduce your stress and to make sure that you are happy and thriving, et cetera. Like literally it's their job in this weird world of Instagram. Like it is their job to support you. And I think celebrities go through this too, right? Where it's like they have everything not done for them, but like they at least have people who are trying to do everything for them. Okay.
Protect them.
Watch out for them and
plan everything.
Read them. And even if they're not communicating and asking for help, like reacting and
fill
being
their
like,
gaps.
fill gaps. And on top of your team that you had a husband who thought it was his job to reduce any sense of friction that you had in your life.
Can I give an example?
Great. Go.
So I can't think of specific examples, but I can think of like themes that have happened. Like there would be hate that I'd be getting online or narratives online, and everyone on my team would know about it except for me.
Yeah.
So many times. And like everyone would be like talking about, oh, this is going on, or is she going to find out, or does she know, or whatever. And it's not doing it. They're not doing it out of like harm. They're actually trying to protect me probably because they're like, man, since they actually know what's going on in my personal life, they're like, probably like, she can't handle this on top of all of that. And so then and then I would find out like 2 weeks later, and I'd be like, what the heck? Why didn't you guys tell me? Like,
yeah. And the belief was, oh, we didn't want you to feel stressed, or you're so fragile, or whatever the belief was. And it was like good, right? Like it's done out of a good place in your heart. Yeah. It's like everything I've done the past 2 years, I think has been because like I'm trying to be the best husband that textbook I thought I was supposed to be. But like the shadow side of it is like, in some instances, I took away your ability to fail or to feel stress or to even feel anything and figure out how you feel about it. Right. And so in a crazy counterintuitive way, like that was like this weird form of me trying to make you happy so that like our home could be stable. Because I was like, if I don't do this, and if I don't protect Dani, and if I don't get ahead of all of these things and carry this giant burden of like wrapping this protective bubble around Dani, then like everything in our home and our family, and I'm not talking about our business, I don't care about that. It's more of like our home and our family is going to collapse. And what's crazy about your rock bottom, and why I'm going to why I'm going to Tennessee, is like my epiphany right now is that like Dani didn't lead herself to a rock bottom. Like I had a part in
it. Well, how do we transition from that note, really?
There was one other thing I was going to say. I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't know, but you're not going to talk for me a week. I'm not being codependent for a week. Peace out, queen. And we're going to come back and you're going to miss me. I'm
Are
betting
you
on
going
it.
to miss me?
Yes.
Can you write letters?
My dearest Danny,
Dearest Danny.
I've been gone for a
It's-
24-hour fortnight. I miss you so.
It's February 15th, 9:14
It's
p.m.
cold here, yet my soul is warm.
Please write me romantic letters.
I'm going over Valentine's Day, so
Yeah, he is. It's okay.
you wanted me to. We agreed upon these dates.
We
Just
did.
everyone.
We
Okay?
did. It's okay.
I'm getting slammed on this podcast. People are gonna hate me. It's fine.
So
Hate me, don't hate her. I'll protect my queen. I'm a codependent queen. King.
Okay, so we've been talking for about an hour. Should we move on to something a little bit more lighthearted just for a second? I think we should move on to things that make you go, You know, we got some crazy pop culture things going on in today's days. The Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again. Are we going to be watching the Super Bowl? What's your plans for the Super Bowl?
I don't know. Probably the same as yours, Danny. What are our plans for the Super Bowl?
So our friends are having people over,
Yes.
which will be fun. And couples are going. You know, we're gonna have to bring a snack. I'm gonna have to watch some of Macy Blackwell's, Instagram and get like a good Super Bowl snack idea.
We should have her on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in a suburb. I would love to know. I bet the moms are mean to her. I'm on your side, Macy. I bet she deals with some wrath.
Macy's so sweet. She's like the sweetest person.
I've never met her, but she seems sweet. She just likes to make her little sandwiches. And her little.
Are you kidding me? Like not little. They're like insanely.
She likes to make her crafts. And
yeah, she's very talented.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, so have you heard that it's Travis Kelce's maybe like his last year? He might be retiring. How old is he? He's not that old.
Yeah. Is he?
I think he's like 35.
Huh.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
His body might be falling apart. You know, he might be scared of is the
CTE.
CTE.
Yeah. Or maybe he's gonna get engaged to Taylor.
I bet he's probably gonna need to call us because he's gonna quit football and he's gonna go through an identity crisis, and he's gonna need to join the Instagram husband support group. And I think I'm the leader. I don't know, but I feel like the informal godfather. And so he can call me. Call me, Trav.
Do you know who's performing for the Super Bowl?
No.
Kendrick Lamar.
Really?
K. Lamar. He's having like a year.
He's having a big year. He took down Drake, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With his A minor.
A minor. Some people think that Taylor Swift might come out to Bad Blood with Kendrick Lamar. Like
That'd be pretty dope.
I mean, that would be insane.
But you know what she's probably thinking, because she's just such a kind person.
She doesn't want to steal the spotlight.
She's like,
but I feel like that this is like his third year being in the Super Bowl. If this was like his first or even his second, this is his third. And like, Travis is like begging Taylor Swift to do it. That he's like, I want my queen up there. Like, he's so confident. He doesn't care. He's not like that. Like, he's not like that Joe Alwyn sensitive type. That's like, this is my movie. It's sad of my movie. Like
Joe Alwyn's movie is like 4 hours long.
Why isn't Joe Alwyn in any good movies?
He's a hipster. Let's just say it.
I feel like he probably doesn't take like the popular mainstream roles.
He's after an art film Oscar. Is what he's after.
Yeah.
And I was like gonna give him a chance. I think I've defended him a couple times on this podcast. And I was like, you know what, Joe, I've defended you. I'll go check out your movie. And I was like, 4 hours. I was like, I haven't been out of the house for 4 hours in years. Like, how am I gonna watch this movie? And it honestly looks boring AF too, if I'm being honest. Like,
rude, babe.
It just does.
So what do you think? Do you think that Travis will propose to Taylor in 2025? I know you just released. He just licked his finger and put it out like he's testing the wind. I don't think he will this year. So, man, I mean, Okay, the one thing that I think would be interesting, moving on to topic number 2, is if Taylor brings Blake Lively to the Super Bowl. Because she brought Blake Lively last year to the Super Bowl. Because, they're like
Do you mean
besties.
Khaleesi?
Yeah, Khaleesi. But man, Blake Lively is just getting like destroyed in this Justin Baldoni lawsuit. And whether you like Candace Owens or not, she's covering it like really to a T. Like,
Really?
I don't typically follow her, but I followed her just to follow all of the details of this Justin Baldoni case. And she has like timelines, maps, like everything, like it's
Ugh.
insane. She's going all out. But yeah, and then, Ryan Reynolds is being brought into it, and he's kind of like,
Could she forgive him for that?
I think that they're both complicit in this because Blake, a lot of like was what resurfaced online actually had nothing to do with like any PR firm or anyone. Like it was just that old reporter that released that old interview from so long. Like people are just releasing old content of Blake and kind of just all generally decided that they didn't like her anymore. And then I think Ryan was the one that encouraged this whole lawsuit, which he thought was going to put Blake probably in this like really great feminist standpoint and like kind of along with like the Me Too movement. And then it just didn't end up like hitting that narrative. And so now it's just like a disaster. And what's really hard is all of the people that know Justin Baldoni personally, that know him really well, that are like speaking up on his behalf, that are extremely believable. They're like his good friends. Like he has really good friends and like really good community that are like, no, Justin Baldoni is like an amazing guy. I mean, two things can be true. I think he probably did some weird stuff on set. Do I think he should have been sued for it? I don't know. Like some of the stuff, like, I don't know. It's hard to say. It doesn't seem like he did anything like actually like illegal or it just probably was like unprofessional.
Yeah.
But like it probably would have been best for Blake and Ryan to just like move on and not victimize themselves because like there's also this power imbalance with this lawsuit. It's like you guys are mega A-list celebrities and Baldoni is kind of a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, taking the high road and just saying, hey, we're not going to work with him again. He's a weirdo, like moving on probably would have been the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Because now people just want to defend the small guy.
I know. It's a mess. It's a true mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess out there.
Can I just end on one thing I learned this week?
Oh, well,
This is my new section, I think. Things Jordan read on the internet.
Okay. Wait, we need to talk about, I want to talk about this really fast.
Okay. Yeah.
Matt and Rachel's breakup. I have been getting so many texts and DMs about Matt and Rachel's breakup. And the reason is because we spent the entire day with them. Actually, a day and a half with them. They were on our podcast. I mean, we even did a freaking Instagram where we set up like a fake
I actually forgot
wedding
about that.
where it looked like he was going to propose to her.
I forgot that we spent the day prior to that. Wow.
I asked him point blank, are you going to marry her? And I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, so I was just like nonstop been getting texts about this. So Rachel went on Call Her Daddy. I have not listened to it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I can't listen to it because
They're like friends. They're fam.
genuinely, I love both of them individually so much. Like, and I just want, like, I want to hear it from Rachel personally when I talk to her. And maybe I'll listen to the episode, maybe I won't. But we reached out to Matt and Rachel both to come back onto De-Influence and to talk. But, who knows if they will. They're going through a lot. And obviously she was just on Call Her Daddy, which is a way bigger podcast. So it makes sense.
We're getting there. 2 episodes back.
But the couple was in Tokyo when they were butting heads. The fight ended up sparking an even bigger fight, Rachel said, stating it just opened a can of worms, which ultimately led to Matt deciding to end things. Rachel then got on a plane back home where she didn't have Wi-Fi. Right before she took off her phone, started blowing up, and she saw that Matt publicly announced their breakup on Instagram. She said it seemed like something about marriage really scared him, but didn't want to speak for him. I will just say this one thing. When we spent the day with Matt and Rachel, I almost said Matt and Abby. Oh well. When we spent the day with Matt and Rachel, like I said, like genuinely, like they are both amazing people. I'm sure their relationship wasn't perfect. No relationship is. But when I was around Matt, the one thing I will say is I just felt like he kind of reminded me of my brother like 5 years ago. Like he's amazing. He has like a good heart. He wants marriage. It just didn't seem like he was like ready for that. Like he wasn't like ready for that. Has so many things he wants to do and so much he wants to accomplish. And it kind of felt like Rachel was just in a different place in her life. That was like the one, I wouldn't say I got like a red flag about it. That was just like the one, assessment I kind of made is like, these two people are amazing. It just seems like the timelines are not adding up. It doesn't seem like this is making sense. And so to be honest, when I heard they broke up, I was not shocked at all. Like it did not, I was like, that makes a lot of sense because like, I think that they were probably extremely compatible when you just look at them individually. But when you look at kind of like what they're wanting for the next 5 to 10 years of their life, it didn't seem like that part was aligned. And I think that they even said that they lived in different cities. Like she lives in Atlanta, right? And then he like lives in New York. Oh, Miami. He lives in Miami, but he was traveling 24/7 and she was in Atlanta. And I thought, that's so weird. Like, like this is the time, like if you're like madly in love with someone, I would want to be with them 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
And so I just remember thinking like when I heard that they broke up, I was like, that just doesn't surprise me at all. It just seems like he wasn't ready.
Can we get mad on the pod?
You can get mad too. I just wasn't mad, but yeah, you can get mad.
No. Can we get Matt on the pod?
Oh, they said mad. I was like,
Yeah.
if you want to get angry about it, you can.
No, I'm not angry.
I'm not angry.
I think that there's probably more to this story. And I think that Matt
See, I just don't think there's that. People are searching and I think that they're like trying to destroy Matt. Matt is like a good person and so is Rachel. And I'm not saying he handled the breakup perfectly, but y'all, how do you handle a breakup?
Well, can I
like, is there a rule book for like, this is exactly what you should post when you post it? And like anything he would have done because he's a dude in this situation, because he was the one that broke up with her, he's going to get crapped on no matter what.
Like, let me just like fan fiction for a second. So you're Rachel, I'm Matt. I break up with you. We both mutually disguise.
Ultimately the worst. That's like, no matter what, you're going to be the worst because you broke up with him.
I know, but
if she would have broken up with him, she would have been the bad guy. Right?
No, I think it's always the guy, to be honest. I think the guy's always going to be the villain.
No, I think because
if she would have broken up with him, it would have been like, Rachel, self-love, do you, girl.
Jordan, you're
like,
so wrong. You're so wrong. So. Like, because they both got hate in their own ways from these episodes, like their own perspectives. And so it would have been like, Matt's such a good guy. Like he loved her so much. And like, she wasn't like it. She would have gotten hate too. It's whoever breaks up with that person. Then it's like one person is the persecutor, one's the victim.
I just feel like it typically.
Maybe sometimes.
The aggressor is usually assumed to be the male. But anyway, if I'm Matt, you're Rachel. We break up amicably-ish in Tokyo. Rachel goes and gets on a plane. What if I'm Matt and I'm texting Rachel and I'm like, hey, like we probably should talk about how like we're going to address the internet. And then you're Rachel and you just go dark on me. And like Matt is like probably driving himself nuts. And he's like, oh my gosh, like I know we made the right decision for our private life, but like, are you about to destroy me? So then he posts that just to kind of like, because she's not responding, didn't have Wi-Fi, not buying it. Anyway, like she doesn't have Wi-Fi, so she's not responding.
You're in a plane like thousands of feet in the air. You're not buying that she didn't have Wi-Fi.
What I'm saying though is like, what if he posted that, which it wasn't like a bad post. It was like, please pray for us, right?
Yeah. Okay. But sorry, that's one other thing that probably rubbed people the wrong way.
Well, yeah. So she's like, I didn't have Wi-Fi, but what if in her non-responsiveness after a major life decision, he was like, oh my gosh, like maybe he made a wrong move, but he was like scared that she was like scheming against him or something.
That's just not her personality. And I think he knows that.
Yeah. But she went on Call Her Daddy.
Yeah, but she was like defending him, saying that he was actually a great guy. If I get asked to go and Call Her Daddy, I'm going.
Me too. Yeah, no, I just think we should have Matt on because I bet what we discover is that they're both pretty great people. And
that's what I'm saying.
And Matt's probably just, we'd be a great podcast for Matt's side.
R.I.P. We love them. We want the best for them individually, or if they end up together again. But I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Wait, so
We could have them both on.
I was like,
really try and talk
I was
it
like,
out.
like, are we thinking matchmaker? No.
There's dead. There's dead.
The old Danny's dead.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm just the mom that posts a couple times in feed every week. I'm just lighter on stories. Like, I'm just overall well balanced.
Shut up. Okay. Let's move on to segment 3. Things Jordan reads on the internet.
It's quick, it's short, it's sweet, but it's hopeful. Do you want a story of hope? It's about Gen Z.
Okay.
I found this article, and as a millennial, it really gave me some hope about Gen Z.
Okay.
Because here I am thinking, no offense to our producer in the room, here I am thinking that Gen Z is all about TikTok and getting angry and fighting the patriarchy, all things I love and am supportive of with my whole entire heart. But I thought that was all it was about. I was like, guys, we're going to have to grow up eventually and like have families. And I was so shocked by this data from the survey. Do you want to learn about the different 3 buckets of Gen Z that I learned about?
Desperately.
There's 3 buckets of Gen Z personas: the neo-traditionalists, the fluid pragmatist, and the internet age explorers. Wow. I'm going to read first
they sound like dinosaurs.
Yeah, they do. You're right. It's very Jurassic Park. The neo-traditionalists making up 29%. So this is the lowest group, but still 29%, Danny.
That's a lot. 30%.
It's less meaningful than our tone in verbal communication, but more meaningful than the words we use.
Yes, that's true.
29%. They value stability, heritage, and traditional lifestyle choices such as home ownership, suburban living, and long-term relationships. They prioritize financial stability and family. They're less focused on pursuing creative passions. And the report notes that 74% of them dream of a stable employment and 93% hope for stable relationships. That's not the Gen Z I thought of. Is it for you?
Why do you think that some of Gen Z is like that?
I think that they went through what we call the pandemic of 2020 and they're like, whoa, that was really crazy. And all I want is stability in my life. That's my theory. The second, the fluid pragmatists, they take a practical and moderate approach to life. They're realistic, prioritize financial independence, value mental health over physical health, and are open to renting and electric vehicles. They seek work-life balance, and they also want higher income. That's a little bit more like the Gen Z that I would think, but not bad. The way it spins it, I'm good with. And then the last is the internet age explorers, 38%. They have a desire for exploration, living in the city, and trying new things. They're less inclined towards civic engagement and prioritize a work-life balance, valuing remote work. They have an impulse to live life and have fun. Oh, let me see if there's any notes.
That sounds like Gen Z to me.
What I thought, and a lot of people thought from this study, was that we probably shouldn't be so chuggy and just be writing this generation off like they're just a bunch of TikTokers. They work hard. They're after the American dream, just like any other one of us.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the same thing. People used to say the same thing about millennials.
Yeah. So
when I started my YouTube channel, it was like the same thing. Like,
yeah, it was like, oh, she just wants to post videos.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, but now people like respect millennials, kind of. Do they? I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, millennials we're in power, and so we're now judging. Like we have the power.
Yeah, that's
like
what
now
I'm saying.
we are the millennials judging, or the Gen X
generation judging the
yes.
Gen Z and Gen X.
So I think the point of the study is like, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And,
don't judge a generation by its letter.
Be kind to your Gen Z
your
neighbor.
Young ones.
Or be kind to your neighbor because they very well could be Gen Z.
And they could be hiring you one day.
True.
Okay, guys. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. Make sure you check us out on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.